Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to I Am Israel, No Division. This is Captain Asya Sha'ala once again, April 19th. This is a Wednesday evening, and I'd like to say welcome to all that is listening to this on the playback. May the Most High bless you, and we definitely welcome you in and listening to today's edition of I Am Israel, No Division. And today's lesson is going to be on faith. Faith. That one word, faith, capital F-A-I-T-H, faith. Okay? What do we do with faith? How do you demonstrate your faith? How do you use your faith in the most trying times in your life? How do you bring about faith? And how do you show your faith? And what is the purpose of faith? Remember, we're not thinking as we once think when we were in the world or when we were under the spell of Christianity. We understand now in this truth that we as Israelites, we are commanded by the Most High to operate under his laws, statutes, and commandments. We're not under that false doctrine anymore that told us that the laws are done away with, and you can just live your life however you want to live your life, and then go down on your knees and pray to Christ and ask for forgiveness, and it's all good. And you don't got to keep the laws. That's the old covenant. That's the Old Testament. Even though Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, says that he comes in the volume of the book. So that means from Genesis to Malachi, from First Esdras to Second Maccabees, the 14 so-called lost books, and from Matthew to Revelations. And as I tell each and every one of you here on this phone and those that are listening to the playback, anytime you call in or anytime you're listening to the playback, please have these tools available. You want to have your 1611 King James Edition Bible with the Apocrypha. What is the Apocrypha? The Apocrypha are the so-called lost books that were taken out of the Bible. And I say so-called lost because they never were lost. They were purposely removed in the 17th century by the Protestants. Okay? They were removed. And why were they removed? Because in the Apocrypha, it gives you the full completion of the Bible. Okay? Without the Apocrypha, you won't know who those Gentiles are in the New Testament that Yahushua and the disciples and Paul went to seek out from among the Gentiles. You have the heathen nation Gentiles who were Gentiles by nature, but then you also had the Gentiles who were actually Israelites who did not know that they were Israelites and they were following after the customs of the oppressor, which would happen to be the Roman, the Greco-Roman, the Greek-Roman captivity that we were under, and we were following under them, no different than today. We look at ourselves as African Americans or so-called blacks or Negroes. But in the truth of the matter, we are the children of Israel. We are the biblical Israelites that this Bible is speaking of. We are the Jews, the real Jews. Okay? The Jew just made it short for the tribe of Judah. Excuse me for a second. I got to blow this incense out. This frankincense is really the tribe of Judah. So that's what we want. You also would want to have, if it doesn't come in your Bible, which you can buy on Amazon.com, or you can go to Barnes & Noble, I do believe, you need the Apocrypha. You can buy that separately. Red hardback book on Amazon.com. You also want to have the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Okay, you need to have that, the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Those are the three main tools you would like to have as your new convert in this truth. Okay? So I like to always start off with this scripture. Let's go to John, the 8th chapter, and the 32nd verse. Sergeant Nawa, can you get that for me?
John 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Read that again.
John 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Okay, it is the truth in all matters that will make us free. No matter how painful it is, no matter how difficult the repercussions are after, or the circumstances after saying what the truth is, no matter any of those things, the truth will release you from the hold of that which you are containing. You're containing. You're not allowing to come out. So always speak the truth in every situation. It does not matter if it hurts someone. It does not matter if it's going to have you coming up short in some kind of way. Always speak the truth to the matter. Now, I'm not saying there's a difference between, speaking the truth and using discernment. So and I will do it, and I am going to do a class of that. So once again, that's John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Okay, so from there, Brother Zion, Shalom, welcome to the conference call. And from
Shalom,
there,
I don't know what happened. I was waiting for other people to join in and said that I was the only one on the call, so I was only about 20 minutes, so I decided to hang up and call back, and now it tells me it's 15 participants on the line. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know either. But now I want you to turn to Matthew. I want everybody to turn to Matthew 18:3. These are the two scriptures I like to use to start off with, and then we're going to get into tonight's lesson. Turn to the book of Matthew, the 18th chapter, and the 3rd verse. The book of Matthew 18:3. Matthew 18:3. Sister Kimberly, you following along? Sometimes I may call on different people when we do our reading. Somebody read me Matthew, the 18th chapter, and the 3rd verse.
Matthew 18, verse 3. And said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little child, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Read that one more time.
Matthew 18, verse 3. And said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted.
Stop right there. It said, stop right there. This is Christ speaking. Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted. The word convert means to change. So when you are outside of this truth, okay, and you come into, and the Most High decides to put His Spirit on you and awaken you to this truth, you have to change. This is a prerequisite and a mandated prerequisite in order to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, except you change. Read.
And become as little children.
Stop. And become as little children. What does that mean? That means you have to change and you have to become as a little child, meaning you have to deprogram to be reprogrammed. Because a child is at a stage of being impressionable, ready to learn. They're into all little things. Their eyes are open. They're trying to learn. They're ready to learn. So you have to take off everything that you thought you once knew, because you can't tell somebody that's grown nothing. Right. So and Yahushua knew that. Christ knew that, because He went all through different countries, all through the land, healing, blessing, dealing with demons and all kind of things. So He said, and become as little children. Read.
Ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
You will not enter into the kingdom of heaven here on earth. And during the next dispensation of time, when after Yahushua come back and crack that sky with his 200 million angels in chariots and get busy with this wicked world. You will not make it into the kingdom unless you do that. Read forward.
Verse 4, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
Don't you want to be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? I want to be the greatest. Okay? Of course, Hamashiach Yahushua, Jesus Christ, is the greatest. But you say, we speaking among Israel. That means the more humble you are, the more humble we are, the greater the Spirit put on us in the kingdom. Okay? You in the kingdom, you may be a ruler of many when it's time to replenish the earth over again. And he brings about, and the Most High and Christ come and restore the kingdom of Israel on earth. Okay? That's what you're working on this side of your life for. Is to strive to become, and I say this to y'all many times, your job is to strive every day while here on this side, okay, to be the best student, the best servant of Christ that you can be, to make sure that you make it into the kingdom. And not only that you make it into the kingdom, but that you make it in the kingdom greatest in the kingdom. Okay, that's what you want. So with that being said, let's go to 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, and let's start through the 12th verse, and let's get into this faith. The book of 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. All y'all sisters, I want y'all all to have your Bibles ready, and I want y'all to be writing these scriptures down, because going forward, okay, we're going to make sure that we walking and striving. Sister Tracy, you still there? Sister Tracy there?
I'm still here.
Okay, I want you to read some tonight. So I need you right here.
Oh Lord.
I need you to go to 1 Peter.
Wait a minute. 1 Peter.
Go to the 4th chapter.
Bring it out.
And let's go to the 12th verse.
We'll start with beloved.
We are starting at 1 Peter. That's right. And the 12th verse. We need this tonight. We all need this tonight.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
Stop right there. Read that one more time, and I want you to read that slow. The beloved. Think it not strange and concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. Beloved, think it not strange. Don't think it's strange, Sister Shiyar. Don't think it's strange, Sister Barah, Sister Tracy, Sister Kimberly, Brother Zion, Brother Wendell, Sergeant Nawa. Don't think it's strange. Don't look at it as strange concerning the fiery trial. When all that heartache and all that hardship hit on you, your bills all on your neck. Okay? Your bills on your neck. Your children going every which way but loose. Every which way and loose. Okay? Things just not going right. Seem like it's all falling apart. Yahushua said, think it not strange concerning that fiery trial you see yourself going through, which is to do what, Sister Tracy? Stay with me. Which is that fiery trial, which is to what?
Which is to try you.
It's to try you. So you're going through these pains, heartaches, hardships, to try you. Okay? The Most High brought you out of the world because a lot of times when you come into this truth, it seemed like you being tried more than what you was being tried when you was in the world. Okay? That's because the Most High loved you. He woke you up. Your friend Rob and or Denise or any one of them that seem like they balling and got it going on. Okay, that's not who the Most High is dealing with at this moment. He's dealing with you. He's dealing with you. Yeah. Okay, because he needs to try you. Because the reward that he has for you and the gift and the everlasting life that he's ready and wanting to give you is worth more than you could ever dream of.
Yes.
So you got to make sure you right. You got to make sure that you're deserving of it and that you ride with him. It's no different than we be in our relationships. And you meet a man or you meet a woman, you try that person. You want to make sure that that person really has your back. Christ is the same way. As those so he said, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you, because you just like, I just cannot believe. I can't get right. I can't get right. Yeah, one thing after another. Something just keep on happening, one thing after another. He said, think that not to be strange, but to do what? 13th verse?
But to rejoice in as much as...
Hold up. But to do what?
He wants you to rejoice in it as much as you can.
He wants you to rejoice in your fiery trial. He wants us to rejoice when things is going bad. Now, we know that is hard to do. He wants us to rejoice, but he's going to go ahead and explain to you why he wants us to rejoice in our fiery trials. Keep reading. 13 again.
But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partake of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
That's right. He said, but rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's suffering. Christ suffered. We got to suffer. Christ suffered, we suffered. Okay? But the same way he what is the word? Extended? It's descended. Oh, is it descended? Descended means to come down, right? Ascended.
To descend.
Ascended. The way he ascended up into the heavens and is sitting now on the right hand side of our Heavenly Father. That is the same for us. That's why I said that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Read the 14th verse.
And ye be reproached for the name of Christ. Happy are ye. If ye be reproached. Is that reproach?
Yeah, reproached.
For the name of Christ, happy are ye, for the Spirit of glory and God rest upon you on their part. He is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified.
You see that? You see that? Let's get now. Let's break that down. Let's break that down. What does the word reproach mean? What does the word reproach mean? Reproach means to address something in such a way to express disapproval or disappointment. Okay, the expression of disapproval or disappointment. Okay, so it says, if ye be reproached, that means if you be in disapproval for the name of Christ, meaning if somebody is blaming you or getting at you about your walk in this, being an Israelite. Okay, and you know how your family can get at you, tell you in a cult. Okay, got a problem.
Insulting.
Every time, insulting. That's right. Anytime you come in, who was that? Who was that, Brother Jason?
Yes.
Huh? Brother Jason, welcome to the call, brother. You know you
Shalom. I've been here. I've been here.
That's good. That's good, brother. Good to hear your voice, man. Insulting. If somebody is insulting to you, you know what I'm saying? In Christ's name, happy are ye. You be happy about that. So when we going through what we going through, because you now came into this truth, and you see the scriptures coming to life and hopping off of the pages when the Christ said, "Think not that I come to bring peace, but a sword." And he come to separate the mother from the daughter, the father from the son, the brother from the sister, and you start seeing your life going in that direction. Praise be to the Lord. Okay, praise be to the Lord, because that's letting you know that you are going down the path of righteousness. Okay, so it says, "For the spirit of the glory and of the Most High rested upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified." And read the 15th verse.
Yes, Khan. But let none of you suffer as a murderer or as a thief, or as a thief, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters.
You see that? You ain't supposed to be all up in everybody else's business. It says, but let none of you suffer as a murderer. You ain't going to suffer as a murderer or as a thief or as an evildoer or as a busybody in other men's business. The Most High knows. Christ knows what you can handle. Read the 16th verse.
Yet, if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on this behalf.
Right, and then we all know that a Christian is a follower of Mashiach Yahushua, whom we call Jesus Christ. So it says, yet if any man suffer as a follower of Christ, let him not be ashamed. Okay, so we go through our trials and tribulations, and we know, and as we going through it, because we in this walk, and sometimes people will ridicule you and insult you, and when you don't want to show up for Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter or any of them holidays, and they got a problem with it, and then looking at you all sideways and got something negative to say about you or talking behind your back or that type of stuff, don't be ashamed. It says, let him glorify in the Most High on his behalf.
Slacky,
okay? Yes, bring it out.
Can I bring out this one script?
Bring it.
So, James 1 and 12. I'm in the message.
You said
1
James.
and 12.
James 1 and 12. And that's crazy. You know what? Don't go to that yet because I got that down.
Okay, my fault.
But you know what? You right on the money. That lets you know that your precepts. That lets you know that your precepts is on point because I'm going to James 1, 5 through 12.
Okay,
no, 5 through 15. 5 through 15. So I'm going to that. So that's good. That's good that you on point like that. All praises. So let's go to Luke, the 4th chapter and the 13th verse. Let's go to Luke, the 4th chapter and the 13th verse. Brother Zion, I want you to bring that out for me. Luke, the 4th chapter and the 13th verse. Shalom, welcome to the conference call. Who's calling? Shalom, welcome to the conference call. Who's calling?
Shalom, this is Yalina.
This is Yalina. Welcome to the conference call. We're at Luke, the 4th chapter and the 13th verse. We're getting ready to start with that, and tonight's lesson is on faith.
Okay.
Luke, the 4th chapter and the 13th verse. Brother Zion, bring that out. Luke 4 and 13. And Brother Jason, I'm going to have you up next.
Book of Luke, chapter 4, verse 13. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season.
You see that? Read that one more time.
13. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season.
So what does that mean? What is that saying? That's saying that you prepare yourself to be in and out of troubled water. Prepare yourself to be in and out of troubled water. What we go through in this captivity, you're gonna have your moments of peace, moments of peace. You're gonna have your moments where your money is right, where everything seems balanced, everything is going good. Okay, and just how you find peace and happiness when everything is going good, we have to have that same spirit when things are in troubled water. You have to put that same spirit on, because we know that that Satan, spiritual Satan, and the devil, which is the so-called white man, according to this Bible, okay, he puts us in these situations, allowed by Yahushua, according to Deuteronomy 28 and 48, when it says, "And the Lord shall send thy enemy against thee in hunger, thirst, and nakedness, and in want of all things." So the Most High sent us into captivity under the so-called white man, which is the devil, the border of wickedness, whom the Lord put the earth in the hands of. So he purposely placed things in order to cause us hell. Henry Kissinger, Rex 84 plan, Zbigniew Brzezinski, National Security Memorandum number 46. Y'all write these down, look them up. Okay? Bills.
Say that again.
Laws. The Rex 84 plan, Henry Kissinger, look up Rex, REX 84. That was put in place in the 60s. If I'm not mistaken, the 60s. Rex 84, Henry Kissinger. Then you got the National Security Memorandum number 46, which was put into play by Zbigniew Brzezinski, which at that time was the Secretary of State, if I'm not mistaken, of Jimmy Carter, when Jimmy Carter was the president. And he also was the man that paid for Barack Obama's schooling. Because Barack Obama wasn't nothing but a Manchurian candidate. He was already selected from childhood, because Barack Obama's mama and the Bushes are cousins. So these be things that they purposely do to us, putting liquor stores in all of the black communities. Okay? Putting liquor stores in all of the black communities. Bad food in all the black communities. Crack cocaine in all the black communities. Okay? If you put and suppress a people to a particular or a certain circumstances that is a hellish type of a circumstance, then all you should be expecting from them is hell. Okay? And yes, we're going to blame the white man. But first and foremost, we have to blame ourselves, our ancestors, first and foremost, for breaking the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments in the wilderness, and then we got placed in this situation. And then now today, these wicked false pastors, fake pastors, false prophets that teach our people Christianity, and then brothers that got you going to the mosque, teaching you Islam, the Nation of Islam, and all these different man-made religions to take us away from the truth of our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, who gave us laws and gave us our lineage and gave us our royalty passed down through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? Right. And we continue in sin and wickedness to this very day, which is why we suffer the way that we do, and we go through the things that we go through. Stay right there, Brother Zion. Get me Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, the 2nd chapter and the 1st verse. Everybody turn to that Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter and the 1st verse, also known as the Book of Sirach. Sister Kimberly, I don't think you don't have an Apocrypha yet, do you? Is Sister Kimberly still on the phone? Okay. If you don't have an Apocrypha, you can go online to your Play Store and type in King James Version with Apocrypha, and you'll be able to download that, and you can have it on your phone at least until you're able to buy it. So once again, go to Give Me Sirach, the 2nd chapter and the 1st verse.
Time. Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Man, read that again one more time. Somebody needed to hear that right there.
My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation.
If you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul. Prepare yourself. Okay? Prepare yourself for things to start going wrong. Prepare yourself if you've been single and you've been without a man. And that feeling just keep rising up in your temptation for you to go out there and just mess with somebody and resort back to your ways when you was in the world. Prepare yourself for that because it's going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen. Somebody's phone is y'all have to put your phone on mute. Somebody's phone is definitely clicking and making a noise. So if it is you, please put your phone on mute. It says prepare yourself for temptation. Keep reading now.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
You see that? Set thy heart aright. Get your mind right. Okay? Get your mind right.
Right.
And constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble. Okay? Make not haste in time of trouble. That like don't in your time be okay with being in it. Okay? Because when you try to rush up out of it, that's when you make all the mistakes. Read number 3.
Number 3. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
So when you find yourself going through these problems, cleave unto the Lord. How do you cleave unto the Lord? By going into these scriptures. By going into these scriptures, cleave unto him. And depart not away. Don't go running away. Don't go thinking that you can do this on your own, because you can't. You cannot do this on your own. So don't go running trying to make things, because you're only going to make it worse for yourself. Give me number 4. And this is it. I want y'all to really hear this one. Read number 4.
Verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Take how?
Take cheerfully.
Nah, man, you're supposed to keep your head down. You're supposed to be all down up under the bed and downtrodden. And oh Lord, what is going on? What you say? Take how?
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take it cheerfully.
No, he said be mad and be angered and be frustrated and just have a bad day every day. He said take it how?
Thee take cheerfully.
And do what?
And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Ooh, man, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Listen, this is for myself as well. This is for myself as well. You know what I'm saying? This is for me too. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. He said, whatsoever. That could be all the way down to your child, coming into your child.
Good precept right there.
You see, that is that. You know what I'm saying? You see what the Most High expect from us. So we are a long way. We want Yahweh Shai to return. We are a long way from that. And just like Moses, when he got us into the wilderness, got our ancestors in the wilderness, they started complaining, y'all. It's some of us gonna do that when Christ returns. Still be complaining. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. When things is coming all down on you, you're supposed to be patient and cheerful. Now, you know that's something. Why? Read number 5.
Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
You see that? Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Okay? Acceptable men.
Women.
Acceptable men. Okay? Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. And sisters. I'm going to say, and sisters, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men and sisters in the furnace of adversity. So when you, just like gold is tried in the furnace to get it refined and coming out looking shiny and being solid, when Yahushua wanted us to come out shining and solid in faith, solid in truth, solid in wisdom, solid in knowledge. And the only way we can become solid in faith, solid in wisdom, solid in truth, and solid in knowledge is by standing the test of time and being patient when tried in the fiery trial. Okay? And standing strong in the furnace of adversity. That's the only way we're going to become refined.
I love it.
Okay? Read number 6, brother.
Verse 6. Believe in him, and he will help thee.
Say that again.
Believe in him, and he will help thee.
All you got to do is what to get help? What does it say you got to do to get help?
Believe in him, and he will help thee.
Keep going.
Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
Sister Barah, how do we order our way? How do we order our way aright? What do we need? What does that give us? What is? Huh?
Following the Lord's statutes and commandments.
There you go. And the only way you're going to be able to follow them laws, statutes, and commandments is knowing what they are to be followed. That means you got to get in these scriptures. You know? When things is going wrong, believe in him. And he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. And what? Read 7.
7. Ye that fear the Most High, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall.
You see that? You better wait on the Lord.
On. Say that. Read that again.
You better wait on the Lord. You better wait on the Lord.
Wait on him.
It said, ye that it said, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. And go not aside lest ye fall. When you try to go doing it your way, you're going to fall.
Yeah.
Because why? Because he's the one who got you going through what you're going through for a purpose. So rejoice in that thing because you know he's going to bring you through. As I'm going to pull that out in another scripture. You're going to get through it. You got through it before. Who you think got you through it? It wasn't you. It wasn't you. So ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Okay? Your reward shall not fail. And ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Okay? Everlasting good and mercy. Turn over one, where we in that? That was 2. And I read that 2 through 18. No, we're going to keep reading. We're going to keep reading this. We're going to keep reading this right here. Let me get through it, and I'm going to get to you, Brother Jason. It says, Sirach 2 and 10. Sirach 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Most High and was confounded? So when we look back at any of the prophets and what they went through in their life, from Samuel to Ezekiel to Job, look what happened to Job. Look what happened to Job. Ain't none of us on this phone went through what Job went through, and he didn't waver a bit. And what did the Most High do? Gave him back everything he had and double. Right. Okay? He didn't waver a bit. So who are we to waver? That's what it says. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Meaning, when you trust on him and you abided in that fear of the Lord, did he forsake you? Did he not bring you through? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Okay? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to the fearful heart. Destruction be to those fearful minds and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. You trying to do it your way. You don't be over here with the Most High. You want to do it your way. You want to be over here with the Most High. You want to do it with your way. That's a double-minded person. Okay? Destruction unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Destruction unto you, woe, that have lost patience. You don't want to lose patience waiting on the Lord. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? What we going to do when we call ourselves losing patience and throwing our hands up? Then the Most High come visit us for real. You think you're going through something until the Most High get on that backside. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word. You're going to stay on this path. Find something to do with your time. Don't be sitting around with an idle mind worrying about what you're going through. Get in the word. Get on the phone with some brothers and sisters and break some bread. Be each other's crutch to lean on. That's what this Iron Israel family is for. That's why the Most High gave you these brothers and sisters. Okay? If you in need, it's enough of us on this phone that none of us should be in. You know what? We just like the Christian church, man. We ain't really got no true love for one another. Start right there. Give me Leviticus 19, the 19th chapter, 17 and 18, Brother Jason. Turn to Leviticus 19 and give me 17 verse, 18 verse. We ain't got no real love because it is no reason why any of us on this phone should be going through a problem and when it comes down to money or any of that. Because remember, charity is above all. And if I ain't got no money or somebody ain't got no money on this phone, we should be bringing our problems into that room. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we all have our problems, but it's enough of us to where though if one of us is in trouble, $20 per person go a long way.
Done.
Okay?
You know.
So if one of us in trouble, we need to be putting that up in that room, and $20 go a long way. $20 to $25 from 10 people, that's $250. That's right. We need to be there for one another. We ain't going to be like no Christian churches and all that type of stuff, man, or these brothers, the wicked brothers and sisters out here in the world.
That's right.
If we going through some problems, we let each other know. And don't be ashamed. And don't be ashamed. And those that have, what did Paul say? Man, what is that? That's Romans. What somebody pull that precept out for me, man? When speaking about what we supposed to do when Paul was dividing up the money from everybody and had them bring their money and lay it down before the prophets feet. That's me. Sorry about that, y'all. What did he do? Let me pull that precept out. Let me get it. Hold on a minute. Because we gonna stick to that right there. The Most High just put that in my spirit.
Is that the book of Acts? Acts 4 and what is it? 4 and 35.
Exactly. We're gonna bring that out. Acts. Let's stay right here. Stay right there, and everybody can go to Acts, the 4th chapter, just so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. And this is what we're supposed to be doing when I say if any of us suffering or going through something and we need some money. We all need to take up some collection. And those who got a little bit more and may be doing better, then you give that because the Most High is blessing you. Okay? The Most High is blessing you. That goes back to that Tobit 4th chapter and 8th verse when it comes down to giving your arm. We have to be there for one another. It's enough of us to where though none of us shouldn't be suffering and helping each other out. Now, a person is really going through something and you just can't be lazy. However, bad hardships happen, and that's why we're supposed to be there for each other. Get to the 4th chapter and go to let's start at
34.
Start at 34. Read that. Bring that out. You right there.
The book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 34. Neither was there any among them that lacked, for as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them, and brought the prices of things that were sold.
You see that? Neither was there any among them that lacked. So all of us in this room, nobody should be really going through a terrible time suffering, and don't nobody know it, and we all in the room every day, shalom, and all praises to the Most High. Okay? Shalom and all praises to the Most High for somebody over there crying every night. Crying every night. And all it takes is for each one of us to come up with a little $20 alms, and all of us. Okay? So that's what it said. Neither was there any among them that lacked, for as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them. Okay? And that go back into, what is that, Esdras, the book of Esdras, when it tells us, or it might be Esdras or Ecclesiastes, these are the days that tell them you should be living as a pilgrim. What does a pilgrim do? Travel, moving around? Because you can't be invested in no houses and all that type of stuff. The Most High is going to bring destruction in this country. Ain't no need to be storing up no goods, storing up no 401ks and all this type of stuff. It's time to start moving. Hop into action. Okay? We have these holy days, but what we really need to be doing is buying a huge house somewhere. Okay? A huge house down somewhere, down south somewhere. I'm talking about with all of us putting in some money, and we live together. Y'all think that is a fallacy. Y'all think that's not true, but that's how that should be going. Because we shouldn't have to be suffering nothing. We all living together, get some land, set some land up, grow our own vegetables and fruits. What is y'all? I mean, I'm all for that. I'm ready for it, and I'm ready to come in with mine.
Me too.
Okay, but everybody want to be in their own world, and that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We make it easier for ourselves in this captivity, and not care about what the world thinks. Read 35. So after they sold their houses and everything, and bought the prices of the things that were sold, what did they do? What did they do with it? Read 35.
35. And laid them down at the apostles' feet. And the distribution was made unto every man according as he had need.
You see that? So they sold what they had just so everybody, and that goes to Leviticus 19, 17, and 18. What did I have? You bring that out for me real quick, Brother Jason.
That was Leviticus 18, 17?
Leviticus the 19th chapter, and the 17th and 18th verse.
Okay. Leviticus chapter 19, 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
You see that?
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
You love your neighbor.
I am the Most High.
That's right. So that's what he expects of us. And that's showing that you love your neighbor. You ain't going to see yourself out there hungry. You ain't going to see yourself out there crying. So we shouldn't do that with our brothers and sisters. And especially those of us that's in Israel. No division. We stand for one another. Okay? And it says, and they laid them down at the apostles' feet, and distribution was made unto every man according as he had need. So that's what I'm saying when I say that. And we go back to what we were reading in Ecclesiastes, because the second chapter, somebody's phone, I don't know who turning up, whoever is turning your pages, or you have your phone up very loud. I'll just look at this equalizer, man, and see whoever was doing that right there turning their page. Y'all gotta get that together. I don't want to put nobody on mute, but it's making a lot of noise for the call in. So from there we're gonna go to. Matter of fact, let me keep reading Ecclesiastes, the second chapter. I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna go to them again when it says, and we're gonna be picked back up in the 15th verse. Ecclesiastes, the second chapter, and the 15th verse, still dealing with faith. Okay, it says, "They that fear the Lord will not disobey His word. They that fear the Lord will not disobey His word, and they that love Him will keep His ways. We will keep His commandments. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well-pleasing unto Him. And they that love Him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their minds, their hearts, their minds, and humble their souls in His sight. Saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord, and not into the hands of men. For as His majesty is, so is His mercy." Okay? So is His mercy. So as His majesty is, so is His mercy. Now from there we're going to go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. Brother Anthony, get me, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Get me 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter and the 13th verse. 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter and the 13th verse.
First Corinthians, 10th chapter, 13th verse. "There have no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it."
You see that? Read that one more time, brother. I want everybody to listen to this and mark this down. 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter and the 13th verse. 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter and the 13th verse. Sister Shayar, listen to this. Good.
1 Corinthians, 10th chapter, 13th verse. "There have no temptation taken, but there have no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it."
You see that? And the temptation is not not always speaking of temptation, and is not sex. That's not temptation. Can be from anything that bothers you, anything that's on you. Okay, we always say that the Most High ain't gonna put on you more than you can bear. Okay, so understand that. That's what it is, a temptation. You know, have you off track. That's what a temptation will have you doing. Some things can go wrong, brothers can be in this truth, and you knew ways of getting money. You know what I'm saying? Things start coming down on you, and you need some money, and all you have to do is go out there and hit a lick, and you can get that money up. A quick lick, and I'm straight. But that quick lick that you finna go make is totally against the word of the Most High, and it's totally against loving your brother as your neighbor or loving your sister as your neighbor. So it says, there hath no temptation taken you but such as common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Okay? That you'll be able to bear it. And then you going back into the Ecclesiastes, they're just speaking about being patient and waiting on the Lord and rejoicing in that time of trouble. Rejoicing in that time of trouble. Now we're going to slide over to the book of James. Let's go over there to James. Let's go to the book of James, the first chapter. Go to James, the first chapter. Sister Azure, you can read that. Give me James, the first chapter. And let's start at James. Let's start at James, the third verse. James, the first chapter, and the third verse.
James 1, verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Stop right there. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Okay? That's why I say a lot of times, man, I know the most I could take me through I've been through some things. And now I say I mastered patience up until this point. The most I definitely can throw something on you and it throw you to the left. But patience I have because I ain't had no other choice but to demonstrate that in my life with the things that I done went through. Okay? So that's what it tells you. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. So when your faith gets tried, it's to develop your patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So we got to keep going through these trials because these trials is what's going to develop your faith and your patience. Okay? And we want to be fully developed in perfectness. In perfection when Hamashiach Yahweh shall return. We want to be perfect. Okay? And it is the trying of your faith that worketh that patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, meaning you perfectly perfect, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Keep reading.
But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
You see that? But let him ask. Okay? Let him act in faith. Brother Jason, you act in faith. Sergeant Nawai, you ask in faith. Sister Adrian, you ask in faith. Okay? Ask in faith. Sister Ashley, you ask in faith. Nothing wavering. Nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. Driven with the wind and tossed when you 1 minute you're this way, the next minute you're this way, you're just all over the place. You don't want to be all over the place. Okay? You don't want to be all over the place. Sister Shiar, pick up at the 7th verse.
7th verse.
Yes.
And it reads, For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Most High.
Read that one more time.
A double-minded verse 7. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Most High.
And what you not going? What man? What kind of man should not think that they're going to receive anything from the Most High? What kind of man?
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Okay, number 6, though, is what I wanted. It says, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea that sea driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything from the Lord when we wavering in our faith. Read 8.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted, but the rich in that he is made low, because as the flower of the grass he shall pass away. 11. For the sun is no sooner risen with a burning heat, but it wherewith the grass, and the flower thereof falleth, and the grace of the fashion of it perisheth. So also shall the rich man fade away in his ways. 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life.
Stop right there.
Blessed
is the man that endureth temptation. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation. Blessed is the woman that endureth temptation. For when he or she is tried, when you try, you will receive the crown of life, which the Most High hath promised to them that love him. And how do we show that we love the Lord? By keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Read 13.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
Right there. We're going to stop right there. Then but every man is tempted. Okay, so we all going to be tempted when he is drawn away from his own lust and enticed. Lust doesn't always have to equate to sex. You can lust for many different things. Okay? Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Okay? When that sin is finished, it brings forth death. That's what breaking the law is going to bring forth in us, death. So we want to make sure that we stay in the pocket with the Most High, keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how we want to stay. That's how we want to live our lives, keeping the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay? This is all about keeping faith. This is all about practicing faith. From there, give me Romans, the 5th chapter and the 3rd verse. Sister Samaria, are you there?
Yeah.
Go to Romans, the 5th chapter, and let's read the 3rd verse. Romans, the 5th chapter.
Romans chapter 5, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also.
Tribulations. Uh-huh. Keep going.
Also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. Patience.
Uh-huh. Keep going.
And patience experience hope.
Keep going.
And hope maketh not ashamed, because of the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us.
That's right. So it says 5 and 3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulation also. We glorify the Most High and His Son in tribulation, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. See, we have to elevate above our situation, our condition, and understand that we're going through what we're going through because we're being tried. This is the Most High is trying you for His glory.
No, we were doing that earlier when we used the Bible.
Okay? You're going through your trial because the Most High is sending you through that for His glory. He's preparing you. He's getting us ready. So you have to go through things. We have to go through things in order to be prepared for Him to be able to give to us that which He has in store for us. We have to go through these things. So when you have your problems come your way, accept it, greet it. Accept it and greet it into your life. And it may go on for a minute. It may go on for a minute, but it's meant to go on for a minute because it's developing you. You could be thinking everything is going beautiful. You're keeping the laws. You're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, and the Most High still going to send you through something. And don't look at it as a downer. Look at it as an upper, because that's what He's sending you through. Because He's preparing you. He's sending you. He's refining you like that gold tried in the furnace. He's getting you ready for bigger and better things in your life once you come into this truth. You may seem as though you may be getting tried even more than what you was when you was in the world, but it's all for the glory of the Lord, all for the glory of the Most High. So that's a wonderful thing. And that's how we have to look at it, as a wonderful thing, and take it on as a wonderful thing. Okay? That's how we have to look at it. Go to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Okay? Go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, and let's start at the first verse. Sister Lisa, go to Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, the first chapter. Yeah, Ecclesiasticus. Did we read that? Ecclesiasticus 1 and 23.
Nope.
Go to Ecclesiasticus and read, or the book of Sirach and read the first chapter, go to the first chapter and read verse 23. Anybody?
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 23.
Okay.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 23. A patient man will tear for a time, and afterward joy shall spring up unto him.
You see that? A patient man will bear for a time. So you're going to endure. Somebody's phone, somebody is doing something on their phone, hitting their phone or something. Okay? It says, a patient man will bear for a time. So you're going to bear what you're going through for a time. Okay? You're going to bear it and you're going to go through it. A patient man will bear for a time, and afterward joy shall spring up unto him. Okay? You're going to go through some things. We're going to go through some things for a time. And then after we go through it, joy is going to spring up. And that's why we as a congregation, we have to stick together as a body and stand together as a body and be there for one another. Like I said, that's how we are supposed to deal with one another. Practicing faith, okay? Stand humble, and understanding that that's what this is about, being tried, your patience and your faith. Your patience and your faith being tried. Okay, because that's the type of servant. A try and a patient servant is what the Most High is looking for us to be during these times. That's what he wants from us. Go to the book of Colossians. Colossians, the 3rd chapter. Brother Jason, read that for me, Colossians 3, and start at the 12th verse. Book of Colossians.
I'm here. Hold on. I'm writing. Hold on just a second. I'm here.
Okay. So that's what we have to understand, y'all, that this is faith. And I'm getting ready to close this out. I wasn't even doing no long session tonight. I'm about to close it out. We're going to take it. I just needed y'all to understand that. I just wanted to go back over this faith sermon that I did before, because I know we all need it, and we just to bring some assurance into our spirits that when we go through the things that we go through and it seems like it's blindsiding us, understand that that's the Most High at that time. That's Yahawashi at that time, preparing you for what He has greater for you. That's why He says rejoice. That's why he says rejoice, and he expects us to obey, because He knows that He's not going to place on you more than you can handle. And then we should know in this word, when we see these things happening to us, we should be like, you know what? Man, you got me, Lord. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing to me right now. You know what? I'm gonna be happy, because I understand that you're taking me through this right now, because you're finna bless me. You're about to bring me through on something. And this is going to develop my patience. So that means anytime things start hitting hard, you already know what it is, because you done searched these scriptures out and you see what He's doing, and you understand that He's taking you through something right now, so your patience can be developed, so your faith can be developed, because He's taking you to another level. And then you're going to have people that's under you that's going to be looking to you for that strength. Okay? They're going to be looking to you for that strength. So understand that when these things happen to us in our lives, these setbacks and things of that nature, that ain't nothing but the Most High trying us at that time, putting us through a fiery trial. But we are to endure. We are to endure, and just like it just read in Sirach 1:23, bear it. Bear it. Because we know joy is soon after the follow. So give me that Colossians. Colossians 3:12. This is how we ought to deal as a body of people with one another.
Scott, you ready?
Yes, Con.
Put on, therefore, as elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering,
keep going,
forbearing of another, and forgiving of one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as the Messiah forgave you, so also do ye.
You see that? Put on, therefore, as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, the bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. Okay? Forbearing one another and forgiving one another. Forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Yahawashi forgave you, so also do ye. So if we in our congregation and you got a little problem with sister so-and-so or brother so-and-so, you're supposed to forgive each other. You're supposed to forgive each other quickly. Quickly forgive one another. Because just like Yahawashi forgave us, so also do we forgive each other. Okay? Read the 14th verse.
And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness.
You see that? And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. Okay? Put on the bond of it says, and above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness, and let the peace of the Most High rule in our minds, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Okay, and be ye thankful. And with that, I'm gonna close out on that. With that, I'm gonna close out on that. And I just wanted, like I said, this is on Israel No Division. I am Captain Asha Allah. Tonight's lesson was on faith and bearing and being tried and standing firm in patience and long-suffering and kindness and mercy, all while we going through our trial, being tried like gold in a furnace. We are to understand that it is at that time when we find things falling down on us in life, that is a Mashiach Yahushua trying us to get us prepared for the next level, for greatness. Okay? So that's why he says take on your trials. Take them on with gladness and joyfulness and rejoicing in your mind and your heart. Take it on that way, because you should know at that moment that when that's going on, you being a servant and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, I get it. I get it. I understand why you're doing this to me right now. I understand. No matter how it's going, you think that it's going to mess up your play, mess up your plans, set you back, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, understand that the Lord is doing that to bring you to a greater place. Okay? Understand that he's doing that to bring you to a greater place. Shalom, welcome to the conference call. Who's calling?
Lakia, I know late as ever.
Yeah, we closing out, brother. We closing out. You can definitely listen to the playback, though. Even still, good to have you call in, brother. And we closing out. So with that being said, this is Captain Asha Allah. Those that are calling in, listening to this on the playback, I appreciate you calling in. We do this every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. and every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. And so you can call in every week, Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., Sunday at 4:30 p.m. And with that, I say shalom. Shalom.